We are counting down the 10 small sailboats that redefine freedom for men over 60. From compact cruisers with blue water pedigrees to classic hulls built to outlast their owners, these vessels combine manageable size with true liveaboard potential. Each boat on this ranking earned its place for safety, simplicity, affordability, or surprising comfort, and some are legendary for surviving the world's toughest crossings. Which craft offers the best mix for late-life adventure? Let's dive in, starting with number 10. Pacific Seacraft 31 stands as the small boat with big ocean credentials. Owners have logged world routes across the Atlantic and Pacific, trusting a hull built of solid fiberglass. No core, no shortcuts. The cutter rig, with its manageable sail plan and optional single electric winch, makes solo handling realistic even for those with less strength. This is a boat that has weathered gales, crossed oceans, and come back for more, while interior space is modest compared to others. On this list, the Seacraft 31's blue water pedigree sets a safety benchmark. For anyone seeking proven seaworthiness over luxury, this is where the countdown begins. Cape Dory 30 stands out for its old-school toughness. Built in the late 1970s and early 1980s, these boats boast hand-laid fiberglass hulls. No core, just solid glass, with thickness often topping half an inch and sometimes reaching 3/4 of an inch at the turn of the bilge. Surveyors call them nearly immune to osmosis, and owners rarely worry about hull flex or hidden rot. The deck is simple, with non-slip refits that are straightforward and easy to maintain. Systems are basic by design, meaning fewer things to break and less time spent tracking down parts. For men over 60, this is peace of mind you can measure with a caliper, a boat that shrugs off decades and keeps the maintenance list short. Albin Vega 27 proves you do not need a fat wallet to chase the horizon. With more than 3,000 recorded ocean crossings, this little Swedish sloop has carried solo sailors and couples across the Atlantic and beyond. Often these voyages were done on budgets that would not buy a new car. Used Vegas often sell for less than $25,000, leaving room for smart upgrades like roller furling head sails, which make single-handed sailing even more manageable. The cabin is snug, but every inch is designed for real voyaging, not just weekends. For retirees who dream big but spend carefully, the Vega's track record says it all. Adventure is not about size, it is about spirit and smart choices. Island Packet 32 stands apart for anyone who wants a liveaboard that feels more like a home than a compromise. With a beam of 11.5 feet, nearly 2 feet wider than most rivals in this size range, the cabin opens up into a true living space, not just a place to sleep. Owners talk about full standing headroom, a roomy saloon, a practical galley, and storage that actually fits long-term life afloat. Water and fuel tanks are generous, so weeks at anchor don't mean rationing every drop. For men over 60, the real comfort comes in the details: wide walkways, easy access handholds, and the peace of mind that comes from a robust parts network and active owner forums. Upgrades like wireless autopilot remotes are common, making solo handling simple. It costs more than some on this list, but for those who want space, support, and genuine comfort, the Island Packet 32 delivers. Flicka 20 is the smallest boat here, but it inspires the most devotion. Just 20 feet long, with a beam of 7.5 feet, Flicka has crossed oceans and circled the globe, often sailed solo by men in their 60s and 70s. Owner logs tell of Pacific crossings, North Atlantic storms, and nights at anchor in places big boats cannot reach. The interior is tight. Think a single burner galley, a fold-down bunk, and storage under every seat, but every inch is used. Wait lists for well-kept Flickas can stretch a year, and the cult following is real. Owners retrofit for comfort with extra vents, insulation against condensation, and clever storage hacks. For those who believe adventure comes from spirit, not square footage, Flicka 20 is proof you do not need much boat to live a big life. Tartan 34C is the chameleon of this lineup, a classic Sparkman and Stevens design with a centerboard that changes everything. With the board up, she slips into waters just under 4 feet deep, opening up creeks and shallow anchorages off limits to most 34-footers. Drop the board, and she draws nearly 8.5 feet, tracking upwind with the confidence of a much bigger boat. This versatility is not just theory, it is why so many late-life sailors choose the 34C for both coastal guncoaling and blue water hops. Centerboard maintenance is straightforward, with a full overhaul averaging about $2,100 at most yards, less than many expect for a 40-year-old mechanism. Many owners add extra handholds and retrofit cockpit hardware, making the boat even friendlier for solo or older sailors. For those who want performance without giving up shoal access or manageable upkeep, the Tartan 34C stands alone. Ericson's 32.3 brings a dose of fun to the list, without sacrificing comfort or ease. The cockpit is a standout, with oversized seats that easily fit 6 adults and enough room to stretch out on long afternoons. Owners praise the ergonomics. Every winch and line falls right to hand, and the wide coamings mean you can brace yourself securely even in a blow. Responsive steering and a lively hull shape make coastal hops or Caribbean passages feel sporty, not strenuous. Many sailors in their 60s retrofit a Dodger for about $3,000, turning the cockpit into a year-round living room protected from spray and sun. Logs from owner groups show regular runs from the Chesapeake to the Bahamas, all handled solo or with a partner. For men over 60 who want a cruiser that feels playful but never punishing, the Ericson 32.3 strikes that rare balance, inviting you to sail longer, relax deeper, and bring friends along for the ride. Westsail 32 isn't just a boat, it's the spark that lit the 1970s cruising movement. With a displacement of nearly 20,000 pounds and a hull that feels more fortress than fiberglass, it offered something radical, the promise of crossing oceans without the need for youth or bravado. Letters poured into sailing magazines debating its virtues and flaws. Critics called it the wet snail, poking fun at its heavy build and modest pace. But for every speed skeptic, there were dozens of owners who valued peace of mind over a few extra knots. They pointed to stories of Westsails riding out Pacific gales while lighter boats floundered, and to a culture that prized safety above all else. Batcar and lazy jack retrofits became common, making sail handling easier for solo sailors or couples well past retirement. Today, the Westsail 32 community remains tight-knit and proud, a living reminder that, for many, the real adventure is about safety, self-reliance, and the friendships forged along the way. Contessa 32 has a reputation forged in the teeth of real storms. During the 1979 Fastnet disaster, when hurricane-force winds battered the fleet and over a dozen boats were lost, Contessa 32s came through with their crews alive. Survivors logged gusts topping 70 knots and waves as high as 60 feet. The secret lies in the design: a deep, narrow hull, nearly 7 tons of displacement, and a self-righting shape that rolls back upright even after a full knockdown. The masthead rig is simple and strong, withstanding brutal weather that can snap lighter spars. Owners call it the boat you choose when safety matters more than comfort or speed. The cabin is compact and storage tight, but for those who want peace of mind when the sky turns black, few boats in this size are as trusted. For men over 60 who put safety first, the Contessa 32 stands as a proven survivor, ready for whatever the sea throws its way. Catalina 30 is the boat that keeps retirement simple and sailing accessible. With over 6,500 hulls built since 1974, it is the most popular 30-foot boat in North America, meaning every marina, broker, and boatyard knows how to keep one afloat. Owners can download full parts manuals for free, order new hardware with a few clicks, and find used sails or rigging in every major port. The cost of upkeep stays reasonable. Annual maintenance averages between $3,000 and $5,000. and most repairs can be handled by any competent marine tech, not just a Catalina specialist. For men over 60, this translates to fewer headaches and more time on the water. The deck is wide and uncluttered, with plenty of handholds and a gentle step down to the cabin. Many owners retrofit boarding ladders or swim platforms, straightforward upgrades thanks to the boat's simple transom and strong glass layup. The cabin feels bright and open, with enough room to brew coffee, read, or host a friend without shuffling gear. If something breaks, there is a thriving online owner community ready with advice, part numbers, and step-by-step guides. For anyone dreaming of a practical, affordable liveaboard that will not leave them stranded for parts or support, the Catalina 30 stands as the everyman's answer. A boat designed to be lived on, sailed often, and kept running without drama. Across all 10 boats, one pattern stands out. True independence comes from embracing what's manageable, not grand. Today, for men over 60, small sailboats aren't a compromise. They're a gateway to lasting freedom. Age isn't the limit. It's often the reason to finally set sail.